All right, I am Dorothy Wilson, and I can tell you this. One thing that I am passionate about is helping other people get published. It's personal to me. I want you to get your message out. People need to hear your story. When you share your story, you help someone else, but you also heal yourself. I know that from experience. So we're going to get started. I have been helping others publish for 30 some years. This is what I do on a daily basis. And I'm going to give you some keys, some wisdom to publishing. I'm going to tell you like it is. I want you to get some meat today so that you are willing to take the jump. You're ready to take the leap to publish your own book, or you may want to publish a magazine. So, all right, write it, publish it, sell it. Every last one of you, you have a book in you. Some of you have multiple books. Well, actually, most of you have multiple books inside of you. I know that because we all have a message, we all have a story in us, and it's waiting to be heard. It's not about you. That's what I want to say. It's not about you. If you chose to listen to this teaching, this coaching, that tells me that you already know that this is something that you need to do. Someone is waiting to hear your message. And as you help them transform, you also are going to be transformed. You have to, as you begin to assemble your thoughts, as you begin to put them into words in a document, you begin to gain a greater understanding of your why and how the events in your life shape you. It helps you when you publish. So 3 reasons that you haven't published a book. And I know this because I talk to would-be publishers every day, would-be writers every day. And here, this is what I hear. I want you to see if you can find yourself in here. You don't see yourself as a writer, or if you can write, you don't know what to do next. It's like, I got all these notes. I have a journal, I got scraps of paper all over my office. Listen, I had journals before I published my first book in 2010. I had scraps of paper all over my bedroom, even under the mattress, multiple journals, okay? Something on the inside was telling me that I needed to write down what my message was, what was affecting me. And it took me a long time to get to that place, that point where I was willing to publish my own book. And the funny thing is that I actually published another book through my company before I published my own book. And I tell you what, I tell you not, sometimes when you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to do it, but you step out, you launch out into the deep and you do it anyway, sometimes that can end up being one of the most successful, significant things you do. That book, that first book project I worked on was called Katrina, 8 Hours That Changed the Mississippi Gulf Coast Forever. It became a New York bestseller, made the company millions of dollars. I managed the whole project and went into it not having published a book, had been publishing in magazines and newspapers, but not a book. And so you can do this. You can do this. Second excuse that you've been telling yourself, time and money. It's going to cost me. It's going to cost me. I don't know if I'm ready or I can take the time, or do I need to take off to write? Or I think I can get it written, but it's going to cost money. And so without even knowing how much time it's going to cost, how much money you need to invest, you park this dream over to the side. If this is something that you're meant to do, you have to decide that you're willing to do it by any means necessary. You will find a way to get done that thing that is driving on the inside of you. So what you have to do is number 3, and this is the 3rd reason you haven't published that book, fear. You have to push fear out of the way. I like to say, eat fear for breakfast, okay? Eat it for breakfast, chew it up really well. And you have to decide that this is worth it, that the price of it, of publishing a book is worth it because of the results that it's going to get. Fear is one of the greatest weapons working against you. It will keep you inside a box that you just for years live inside of. And as Les Brown says, each one of you have greatness within you. But for some of you, the world will never know about it. You'll hold that and you'll keep it just for the people you work with, just for your family, just for your community. You have a worldwide audience out there that is waiting to hear your message. The answer to, I don't know, the investment may be too much, fear. The answers to those three things is prayer, persistence, and purpose. Prayer, 3 P's, prayer, persistence, and purpose. If you're taking notes, write those down right there, because this is how you overcome those obstacles, those objections. So there are 4 steps to get to publishing. The first one may surprise you. It's purpose. Purpose. Let me explain what I mean by that. So most people who want to start a magazine, they want to publish a book, they start at exactly the wrong place. Okay. My years of publishing, 30 some years of publishing, I see this all the time. And I have to tell people who come in for their initial consultation, don't get lost in the weeds. Focus on the end result. That is what's going to get you from the start line to the finish line, and not only just get you there, but get you there successfully with a viable project, a viable book project. Don't get lost in the weeds. And here's what I mean by that. If you don't understand the why for producing this book, for writing this book, then you won't have a clear understanding, number one, of how it needs to be framed, what the title will be, who the audience is, and how you're going to sell it, and who your target is to actually be able to purchase this book. You won't understand those things unless you really understand what's your purpose for publishing this book. So some reasons you might say are visibility. Okay, yeah, I want to extend my brand. You know, I want people all over the world to know that, you know, I'm a financial coach, or, you know, God has spoken this beautiful platform into me, and I want to share about that. You may say, okay, I want to be visible. It may be that you want to help others, and you want to make money. There's nothing wrong with making money. Okay. Some of you may say, well, I want to unbox my past so I can heal. I feel like if I can put this on paper and release it, you know, this is really going to help me once and for all deal with those demons that are chasing me. I do want to give you one little caveat here. It's great to make a profit. If you invest what it takes to publish a book, you should make a profit from it, but never put money first in a book project or anything that you do. You don't want to pour out your life for money. Don't live for money, okay? Do it for purpose, do it on purpose. Your purpose will keep you going when you are dog tired, okay? You're frustrated, you feel like you don't have time to get it done, you want to quit. And then also when others are throwing rocks at you. You know, when you stand up and you begin to rise up and elevate, and you start doing stuff that the people in your circle are not doing, you know, this is the way I see it. As you rise up, you just make yourself more visible so they can hit you with their rocks. They can say, what does he think he's doing? Who told her she can become a published author? What's up with that? Oh yeah. This is just like, you know, the idea she had last year when she was going to start the podcast. Do you see her with the podcast? Yeah, the haters are going to come out. But if you understand your true purpose for publishing your book, then you'll get it done and you'll drive past all of that. You'll drive right past fear. You'll drive right past the haters, okay? And you'll also overcome all of the other obstacles that have kept you from publishing. So your drive has to come from within your soul to do anything great. I have done some truly wonderful, great things. And the biggest lesson of my life is it has to come from within your soul. You have to have this, I have to do this. I have to do this. So I help others publish because God's called me to do this. It's in my soul. I have a mandate on my life to amplify the message of others. And so what's my purpose? What's my why? Where does it come from? When you're trying to figure out what your purpose is, you want to look back. You want to look at your past. You want to look at the things that hurt you, the things that broke you, because from that brokenness, there likely is where you will identify your purpose for publishing. For me, as a little girl, I watched my mom be horribly abused. My dad was a wonderful person, smart, great work ethic, had a humor, very talented, gifted person, Monday through Thursday. He got paid on Thursday. He started drinking and he would drink Thursday through Sunday. And we never knew when he was going to come home. He became very violent, a raging alcoholic. And I watched my mama as a little girl go through all of this horrible abuse. And there was nothing I could do to help her. My mom, who was beautiful, a beautiful spirit, a smart woman, had so much potential, and it was never fully realized because she got herself into a relationship that boxed her in. And so I can't help mama stand on a stage. I can't help mama write a book. I can't help mama get her message out. But there are thousands of other people I can help, thousands who I can say, you have greatness within you. You have a message that needs to be heard by the world. Dorothy Wilson is called to help you get that message out. I can do that. That's my purpose. So your reason for publishing your book should be tied to your purpose, just like what I do is tied to my purpose. Next, the results, your results from your book publishing. Of course, these are the manifestations of publishing, all right? So here are 4 things that can manifest when you publish. 1, you amplify your message in a powerful way. Thousands of people, millions of people you never knew find out about you. You become discovered. Secondly, a great result of publishing is you can elevate your credentials, your brand, your influence. Hey, you can, it's great that in your office, you are, great at coaching people in your particular field or whatever, but the world is out there and they need to know what a great coach you are. They need to discover your brand. And then as they do that, you grow influence, you grow your connections, you build a platform that you can come back and sell to again and again and again, okay? Then a third result of publishing is you help others be transformed. You help others be better. And that should always be one of the reasons, your goals when you publish. The next, of course, is you add new streams of revenue. And the beauty of a book project is this: you publish that book, and then that turns into speaking engagements, then that turns into coaching engagements, then that turns into new collaborations, new connections. I mean, it's endless. A book project can take you so much further than you ever thought you could go. So, brand indoctrination is a big reason that you want to publish, okay? It's first, people have to see you. And then secondly, they have to know or experience you. One of the things I love about publishing, whether it's a book or a magazine, is you can go on social media, you can do all of these commercials and promos, and you can post 1,000 times in a month. But if you don't take someone from that social media post to something else that gives them a meaningful experience, the only thing you did was just wink at them. Do you want to date them? Do you want a relationship with them? Do you want to be able to go on a journey with them? A book is a powerful way to do that. You can take them from that quote on social to a book that allows them to really see your expertise, to be able to see the power of your story. And so first, you want to understand purpose. Next, number two, frame your book. You frame, okay. Some people think, okay, well, I'm just going to write in chronological order. I'm going to say this happened first, this happened next. Most first-time writers start that way. Well, guess what? Most people, if they don't, it's like asking people to go on a journey with you across the US, but you don't tell them anything about where you're going to stop, what you're going to do along the way. You have nothing that hooks them into the trip, that gets them excited. But when you start framing that and you say, we're going to see the 10 wonders of the US. Okay, now you're starting to get me excited about going on this journey with you, about reading about this journey. So you need a hook, something that will ensure that the person who is reading or listening to your book gets past that first chapter. There's so many books out there. People publish their first book, they get all excited about it, they sell it to their friends, their family, their coworkers, and then they have boxes of books sitting in their garage. And the reason for that is you set that book up on Amazon and you don't have any reviews, or the reviews aren't really compelling. Well, you got to get people past the first chapter. You have to get them excited about reading to the end. You need skill writing techniques like foreshadowing, a vivid scenery, adrenaline rushing incidents that start that book where that reader is like, I have to see what happens next. I have to know why this person is the way they are when you open that scene up, okay? So purpose, one. Number two, framing. Number three, production. You have to get the cover design. You need editing, page design. You need marketing promos. This is one of these areas that a lot of people misstep. They may be able to get that book pinned down, okay? They may be able to come up with the chapters. They get all that done, but they choke when they don't have someone to really work with them on the title of that book. The title of your book is like a billboard. If that title is not compelling, why should they even read about your credentials? Why do they even need to read the back cover? The cover look, the cover design, it needs to evoke emotion. It needs to say something all on its own before the person ever even opens the book. And you need to make sure you get this right. It's not a matter of just putting your photo on the cover. Just doing some research. Books that don't have the author's photo on the cover actually don't do as well as other books that have a different type of cover to it. So you want to make sure that you get some professional help with the cover and the look of the cover. That's your brand. That is like looking into the window of your soul when they look at that cover. Okay, so purpose, framing, production. Fourth, sell it. I just mentioned before, I know plenty of people who have boxes of books sitting in the garage. Some of the first books I published, I had boxes sitting in my office, okay? Still waiting to be read, still waiting for someone to see them. One of the things that I like to teach clients, coach them when I'm working with them, consulting with them, is pre-sales is one of the most important and profitable phases of publishing. Yet so many people really don't understand how much effort they need to put into it, and they don't get help on the pre-sales. They think if I can get that book to the finish line, if I can get it loaded up on Amazon, if I can get it printed copy in a bookstore, then I have arrived. You have not arrived. Here's the thing. If you're going to invest time, money, and effort into this, you need a monetization plan. And the pre-sales is a big part of the monetization, okay? Secondly, your strategy, your sell it strategy has to go from pre-sales to strategy 2, strategy 3, strategy 4. You need a written marketing plan to ensure that you're not only able to sell copies of the book, but you're able to manifest the results from publishing that we talked about earlier. So all 4 of these steps, in most people's case, is going to require that you get help. You can do it on your own. It's just like with anything. You can do it on your own. Hey, do it yourself. I love it. You can go on social media. You can read. You can watch videos. You can do all of that. You can educate yourself. You can invest that time to get it done. But for some of you, the main reason you haven't published a book is time constraints. You don't have that time, or you don't want to take that time. And if that's you, you need to get a coach or a consultant to help you define and solidify first your purpose and what results you want to get out of that book. That is the first thing you want to nail down. Most clients who come to me for publishing, they're all over the place. They're excited. They know they want to write a book. They even sometimes feel like God has kind of been nudging them, pushing them to write a book, or they know that if they want to grow their brand, that this is the next step, but they have not really clearly defined what the purpose is for that book and how they want to manifest the results they need. You need an experienced publisher to help you frame, or a writing coach to help you frame your story. You can do it on your own, but if you have somebody to at least go over it with you, make some pointers, show you where your weaknesses are in your thinking about your book, that'll save you a lot of time on the back end. I've seen people take 2-3 years to write a book because it's not framed right. You need a roadmap. You need to create that roadmap on the front end. You need professionals to edit, design, and proofread your book, and to also make sure that it is set up correctly. Some people think if I can just get it uploaded on Amazon, I've done it. No, you need to think about SEO on your website. You need to think about making sure you select the right categories on Amazon so people can find your book. All of those things are really important. One of the things that I hate, I just read a book last week. It was a great book. It had a great plot. I was just reading for pleasure, but the misspellings in it drove me insane. So if you're trying to elevate your influence, you just tore it down with the 4 misspelled words, or the grammatical errors, or the poor sentence structure, or the fact that you didn't have a transition, or you wrote this book and you wrote it from your heart. You poured your soul out, but you didn't realize that you left the reader up on a cliff hanging because you know it so well that you didn't feel you needed further. You didn't need further explanation of something. Well, you may need somebody to really take a hard look at your manuscript to ensure that it's being read, it's being viewed as a reader would see it or a listener would see it. Marketing guru. You need a marketing guru that makes sure you make money before your book releases and also after your money releases. You need a marketing person who's going to create a funnel that will take you from getting that book set from pre-sales to getting that book published to getting on media outlets, shows, to getting the right press releases and making sure those press releases are released in the right places. You know, you can write anybody can find emails and send press releases out, you know, all over the world to different people. It's a different story to know how to write that press release in such a way that news media will pick it up so that you're not having to pay for all your marketing. Okay, so Those are the things that you need to think about as far as getting your book published successful. Uh, you know, again, focus on the results that you want. You may need to hire, okay? Why invest all of this effort into publishing your book and then you don't manifest the results because you didn't have a good plan and you didn't get the right help? So I'm going to leave you with three key pieces of wisdom. Number one, if you do choose to select a publisher or a publishing company to work with you, make sure that company allows you the flexibility of choosing how much help you want or need. There are some things that you may already feel comfortable about. You need to be able to have a menu where you can say, I'm not going to spend a gazillion dollars to publish this book. You know, I want to get it done. I want it to be done well, but I know that I'm a good writer. I also am really good at storytelling. I may not need as much help. You may need to just write that manuscript and present it to a professional team to take it from that point. Or you may need an initial 1 or 2 hour consultation with a publisher or writing coach to help you with framing your book. And then after that, you may have marketing experience. You already may have a marketing team. So choose a publisher who allows you to pick a package that fits your budget and fits your needs. Secondly, focus on your strengths. Know what your strengths are. So many times when we're doing something new, we invest so much time in talking to 9, 10 people before we get started. We go online, we listen in on these podcasts, we take these master classes, we do all of this stuff to figure out how to get published. And then we try to do it ourselves. And the stress of getting it done steals all of the joy. You spend more money than you ever thought you would because it was much more involved, much more complicated. Publishing is not an easy process. It's easy if you have people who know what they're doing helping you with it. Focus on your strength. If you're a good storyteller, be a good storyteller. Don't try to figure out what your cover design has to be, okay? Unless you heard from God on high and he drew it for you, get somebody to help you with that. Get somebody who is skilled, trained to help you with the title of your book, okay? If you don't have any real marketing experience, make sure you get someone who can help you with that. So many people get bogged down, they get lost in the weeds because they're not focusing on your strengths. So I like to say it this way. Spend 70 to 80% of your time and energy, whether you're writing a book, whether you're running a business, whatever it is, spend 70 to 80% of your time focusing on and doing things that you're really good at. These are your gifts. That other 30, 20% of the time, you need to delegate it. You need to give it to someone else who that's what their strength is. That's what their gift is. That's how you get to the top of the heap. That's how you're able to catapult forward and to be able to do things at such a high level of excellence that you blow people away. It is assembling the right people, okay? Focus on your strengths. Assemble a dream team. Do not try to piecemeal a book project, okay? Where you got one person over here who's focusing on editing, one person over here who's coaching you, another person over here who is designing it. In the end, you'll end up spending more money because all of those people are not working together. All of those people are not talking together. You want to assemble a team and you all start at the same time with the same vision. You want to communicate not only what the project is, but you want to communicate your purpose. You want it to be really, really clear. And you also want that team to work together. I've seen so many people, they work on a project and then they hire a marketing team, separate marketing team, different company to begin working on the marketing. Well, then you got graphics over here, you got logos over here, you have this piece here, you got this piece over here. And every time you go to a different group to work on a part of your project, that's effort, or you're somebody else who's helping you, that's effort on their part to assemble all the pieces, to get everything together. Then you got to share the vision again, you got to share your goals again. Start with the end in mind. And if you will walk yourself through what I shared with you today, you are ready to publish. I'm excited about your book project. I look forward to hearing about you guys. Find me on social, hit me up, okay? I am That Media Queen on Instagram, and on Facebook, I'm Dorothy P. Wilson. I want to hear about your project and your progress.